So during early March, I decided to take the opportunity to go on a few rural trips around town before the isolation measures went in play. I actually went on 2 trips. There wasn't enough footage to separate them into 2 separate videos, so I thought I'd piece them together into one wholesome medium format, long vlog type thing. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. I was actually in Byron Bay for an engagement of a friend of mine, but on the day I decided to head back to Brisbane and my car actually broke down. Something wrong with the water pump, which was super annoying, but I had to leave my car in Byron at a mechanic there. I headed back to Brisbane separately in another car and then came back another day. It was actually quite lucky I came back. I used the opportunity to take some photos. It was a really good day where it was nice and sunny and super bright skies. So I thought I'd take that opportunity to take some photos at sunset and bring my Mamiya RZ67 with me. So I ended up loading my Mamiya up with some Portra 400, went to the back streets of the Byron Bay town centre, the main district there, and thought I'd see if I can find any cool houses or nice cars I could take photos of. I was pretty lucky. The first road I turned onto, I found this red truck. I really dig the simplistic style of the back of it. It had a very vintage kind of older aesthetic, which I really enjoyed, and there was some nice foliage at the back. You had different types of shades of green in the back, which really matched well, and then you had the golden hour sunlight coming through, hitting the back of the car super nicely. So yeah, that was a nice shot to get started with. So after that, I actually took a few more shots further down the street and then decided to head up to Byron Bay Lighthouse for the sunset. I was actually chasing light at this point, so I wanted to make sure I had the highest vantage point. If you've ever been to Byron Bay, you've definitely heard of the lighthouse. It's like the most typical iconic spot that you can find there, which makes it great because you know you can secure a few great shots there. But I wanted to find some more nicer shots that weren't so generic, because you can find a lot of them on Instagram, and it didn't make sense to go all that way just to take the same shots you could find elsewhere. So I decided to look out for some more interesting vantage points and things like that. With that being said, I did get a bit carried away and ended up taking those obvious shots. I was super glad I did in the end because there was some really unique light coming through. The sun was pretty much setting and super low at this point, so you had a really nice golden glow. Sometimes I was shooting into the sun, so you had that golden glow coming through the image. Really rich colors and some nice settings, nothing I'd really seen before, I thought, so I thought it'd come up a bit different than those generic shots. You can be the judge of that. I might have just, that might just be my guilty conscience trying to justify it, but let me know. Even though most of the colors were quite rich, what I quite liked was the subdued blues coming through the sky. Normally I'm not really a fan of those high saturated blue skies, so it was nice that they were nice and subdued and kind of didn't detract your attention away from the scenery. Last time I was in Byron Bay, I shot a lot of 35mm, and also it was very overcast when I was down there last, so this was a totally different setup, had the medium format, and we were also shooting a lot of bright skies and things like that, so it was definitely a nice change of pace. But yeah, let me know what you think of the difference. I'll probably link the video up here to the other video and see what you think of that as well. So after I got sidetracked up the hill by taking the obvious shots, I decided to head further down the hill to some more unique vantage points and try to create some more unique scenes. This is when I probably took my favorite photo from that day. You see you've got the walkway and the leading lines of the pathway heading down the photo, and you've got the rolling hills in the background with that sunset glow over the top. I quite liked how the greens came out in this shot. You had the different variations of them depending on how the light was hitting them and the different kind of foliage you had there. But yeah, it matched with the rolling hills as I mentioned before. This particular shot caught my eye as well. You had the mist coming from the trees. It created a very dreamy like atmosphere as well. I probably should have taken a few more shots while I was up there. I was being quite cautious with how many photos I was taking because I didn't want to, take the same vantage points too many times. But every photo came out so well, I wish I just took a few more instead. I don't mean to sound cheesy, but afternoons like that definitely make me feel so lucky to live in a place like this, surrounded by incredible nature. I was definitely brought back down to earth when I was hit with that $600 bill to fix my car. Golfs, I would stay away from them. If you're asking me, golfs are a piece of So not long after that trip, things started to get pretty serious with COVID-19 over in Brisbane. So I decided to head out to my parents' place where I felt a bit more safer. It's about 30-40 minutes out of town. It's got big open spaces. So yeah, I just felt a bit more safe heading out that way. Samford Valley is definitely known for its rolling hills, its wide open spaces and its country charm. It's actually quite a quirky little village too, quite known for its coffee scene as well. So one afternoon I decided to take the Mamiya RZ67 out into the garden. I thought there was a lot of different textures at play there. You had the sunbeds and you had the tiles and then you had the potted plants. They all mixed in quite well, the different tones as well. But yeah, I just thought I'd play around with that to get started. After I left the pool, I headed into the garden. There was some nice light coming through there. And also, I've been finding it hard to do that garden any justice. You've got a lot of concentration of different greens. And also, normally in the afternoon, you're shooting quite into the sun. I feel like it would be better if it was shot early in the mornings. The only thing is, sunrise is too early for me. Not long after I left the garden and went for a walk around the neighborhood, the sun was setting at this point, so yeah, I was getting some nice light and thought I'd play around with what I could do with that. Also, with the time of day it was and the cloud formations, you had the really nice soft light coming through.
That's it, Sam. Get that filming.
I think I find I'm more attracted to shooting your rural spots lately. You've got these vast open spaces, so you can go for a nice walk. You've got the fresh air, and also there's a lot more character to the surroundings, the buildings, everything there, just the architecture as well. I definitely plan to spend a bit more time photographing Samford Valley. It's got some really quirky attributes to the village there, and also you've always got these amazing vintage cars rolling through the village coming by, and sometimes they hold meetups, so next time I'm in town, I'm definitely going to try and catch one of those. I'd actually love to know where people's favorite place to shoot is. If you can comment down below your favorite place to shoot, I'd love to check it out. I'd probably check it out on Google or Instagram or something and see what it's like. But yeah, comment down below and I'll have a look. Also, if you're enjoying the videos I'm producing, make sure you subscribe and like this video. It really helps with my reach and yeah, it just motivates me to keep on making these videos. But yeah, thanks again. I'll see you next time. Peace.